What's going on, people? Welcome to the Central Stand. This episode is brought to you by Weekend Defender and Vortex Competitions. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the Stand and hit the bell button to be notified of future content. Today we are on, is it episode 3 of the 25-26 season?
Episode 3 of the new season, yes, indeed. But
Episode 3. And we are literally, we could say we are on the eve of the start of the season, boys. I'm very, very excited. Very special guest in Sean Morrison. How's it going, Sean?
Yeah, good to be here. Thank you for having me.
And it's good to have you here as well, mate. We've also got our co-hosts. We got Ben and Miles in the wings. So very excited. A lot of things have happened since we were last year. We haven't been here for about 2 weeks, have we? Really?
Something like that, yeah. 2 weeks, 10 days, something like that. So there's been, 3 games in between that time. So, yeah, it's a lot to unpack. But then obviously there's a few areas of concern as well. But we're all still quite excited, aren't we? So
yeah, we got it. This podcast, Sean. We have other channels, and to be honest, I've been guilty myself with Cardiff City. I've been very negative in the past, but we made a pact at the beginning of this podcast and said, listen, we're just going to try and be as positive as we can on this show. So how are you, Ben? You okay?
Yeah, all good. Nice trip up to Nottingham on the weekend to watch the final pre-season game, but overall excited for the start of the season. I think that's something we maybe couldn't have said for the last few years, but this year feels like the first year we're going into the first game really optimistic of what is to come over the next sort of 9 months. So, yeah, very much just looking forward to getting down there on Saturday and seeing what happens.
Yeah. And I'm sure the people watching this are like, I want to hear Sean. So, Sean, how are you been, mate?
Yeah, good. Just enjoying family life, to be honest. Just enjoying the baby. He's growing away. Enjoying life, ticking over with bits and bobs. But, I'm excited for football to start again. It's always the same that summertime when there's no football. It's a bit weird, isn't it? So... I'm excited for the season to start on Saturday and get back to watching some football.
Yeah, and obviously, since we've had the season break in the summer, and there's been lots of rumours flying about, and even one with your name dropped in the mix. I'm sure we'll have a little chat about that at the end. But I think what we want to do is just get into the topics at hand, and the first topic is talking about the squad. It's talking about there's been no signing so far. Are we the? I think we're probably one of the only clubs.
One of definitely. I've seen a few bits this morning. I'm thinking literally everyone has made signings pretty much. Yeah. Apart from us, but. Do
you want to run through first, Maya, and have your take?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. It's like something. It's quite good that we've retained a lot of the existing squad that's there. Is that continuity, and it seems to be they're building up those relationships between them. Within the squad and the combinations. We've seen it come to fruition. The last 2 games. Especially, we thought the QPR game would be a bit of an acid test. We thought maybe we'd see our strongest 11 there, but it did still seem to be a bit of a mix. He still seems to be giving everyone a bit of a crack of the whip. So, yeah, between the QPR game and the Notts County game, we are seeing those combinations starting to gel and starting to come together, but it is a bit of a concern that there's no reinforcements and no sort of strength in depth. So, I don't think we're in full panic mode. But it is a bit of a strange one. It's a bit of a strange one because we thought, maybe with the takeover, maybe with this and that, there's all different rumours going on of why there hasn't been signings. But I think the top and bottom of it is maybe he's looking for that bit of quality rather than just, flash sales and flash signings as well, just wholesale signings. So, yeah, it's an interesting one. It is a bit of a, I don't know, we have been quite concerned in a way, I suppose, haven't we? Because, we think that it is more the strength and depth in certain positions. We've got a lot of youngsters, and they've looked fantastic so far. We can only look at what's in front of us, and so far they've looked really composed and really comfortable. And as I said, those combinations are gelling more and more and more. So I think particularly in the back four, we'd like to maybe see at least 1 or 2 reinforcements, but time will tell. I think we're on Wednesday, Thursday now. By the time Saturday rolls around, I can't see there being someone through the door. But stranger things have happened. You just don't know. So we've the only solid link we've had so far is that goalkeeper. So apart from that, I haven't really seen us linked with anyone, which is another strange one. But
I think you're right though. I think in terms of the manager knows what he wants from a player, instead of just signing players and making up the numbers for numbers' sake.
Yeah.
for me, I look at it as in a positive term when a manager's not just signing players, he's looking at the squad and going, this is what I've got. I can get the best out of these boys. And I think as a manager, I've heard nothing but good things, and I think he's the guy that's going to get the best out of these young players. He's worked with the best young players in the country, so I think if he's going to get the best out of people like Ruben, Joel, Colwill, he's going to get the best out of Joel Bagan. He's going to coach these young boys how to become better players, which I don't think there's been a manager in the last long time.
Long time.
It was from when I was there, and since 2014, we've always had managers that great managers, but they're not going to coach young players to become better players, which I think this guy that is his bread and butter. I think from the squad he's got, he's going to get the best out of those boys. He's going to get them playing well. He's going to get them in a system. And when he does bring players in, because I'm sure he will, the summer window is a long window. He'll bring in the quality and the players he wants, and it's exciting. It's exciting to see what he's going to do.
It does seem like from the get go, those have been 2 big points that he's made. Is putting the responsibility and that onus on the young players, you know, and locking something within them that he's already seen before even starting working with them. Plus, with the subject of signings, he's always been about quality over quantity. So, I mean, I know there hasn't been anyone through the door, but I think when someone does come through the door, it'll be for a good reason. It's not just willy-nilly, just, as you said, making up the numbers. So,
well, I think he's probably wanted to review what he's really got there and to see what potentially he can
see what
get
he's
from
working
the
with.
players he's actually
So,
existing with.
It's the best kind of manager for a group of young players as well, isn't it? Like, you look at the squad we've got at the moment, I think only 9 of them are over the age of 23. 2 of those being goalkeepers. So you've got 7 outfield players over the age of 23. Joel Bagan is the longest serving player at 23. I know Sean will probably know better than us, but like leaving someone like Joe Rolls go, lack of leadership and experience going into a season where you're expected to be fighting at least for playoff positions. A lot of young players, when it comes towards the back end of the season, you're feeling tired in your legs. Do you need that bit of experience or in the dressing room just to get around those younger players?
It's a great point.
Yeah, no, I Rousey's one of my best friends, so I've got that bias in when he left. I think someone like him would have been a massive part of, even if he had not played 45 games, 40 games in this season coming, having someone like him in the change room is a huge asset for the manager or for the players. But him leaving now, the manager's going to put the onus on those players to step up to the mark. If he's going to look at the squad and he's going to expect 3 or 4 of those young boys start coming into their own and becoming leaders. And I'm sure he will demand that from them. Like I've spoken to a few of the boys in there now, and he is all about positivity. He's all about that we're not going to talk about mid-table. We're talking about promotion. This is what we want. This is what we're here for.
High aspirations.
Yeah, and if you're not here for that, then the door's there, kind of thing. So he's gonna look at that squad, and he's gonna expect. Obviously, you got people like Callum Robertson, who's an experienced player, who's gonna lead the changing room. But those boys in their early 20s, mid 20s, they're gonna have to step up to the plate and become leaders.
Absolutely.
And that's when you look at them and go, do you know what? He's the guy for me. He's gonna
the right
get those
characters.
boys. Exactly. Yeah. So losing someone like Joe's massive. He's been there so long, and he is a natural leader. And some of those boys might not be natural leaders, but it becomes a point in your career where you've got to look at yourself and go, do you know what? This could be for me.
Yeah. And did you look at that as a positive, you know, with BBM? Like, did you think, because we've had a conversation about it before where you said, I can see the negatives out of it, but I can also see this as a positive as well.
Yeah, no, 100%. Look, he made his decision on Joe, and he had, by all accounts, a really good conversation with him when he told Joe he was going to leave. And it's a big decision to make. Someone who's been there for such a long time, the fans love, and people look at Rousey and everything he's done at the club. Blood, sweat and tears, he puts everything.
Oh, yeah.
And then the people that don't see the bits he does in training, the way he plays, the way he trains, he's an animal. He's an absolute animal, and it's probably detriment to himself. The reason he's probably picked up those little niggles over the years is because he trains at 100 miles an hour all the time.
High octane.
Literally got to try and put a leash on him. But for the manager to make that decision after only being in the building a few days, maybe 4 or 5 days, it's a big decision, but like you
It's
said,
a controversial one.
from a positive point of view, he knows what he wants.
Yeah.
He's looking at the squad and going, I want a younger squad. I want these players to work with, and he's gone about it and done it in the right way. And for me, on the outside looking in, I can nothing but respect for that.
And obviously, being a captain yourself, a great captain, no captain being named. Have you looked at anyone in that squad and thought, I would give the armband to him?
Not particularly, no. But there'll be. It's hard. Obviously, the boys I've played with and trained with, and know, you look at them, and there are the leaders in there, and people. Every leader's different. I've had captains over the years who are screamers and shouters and demand, and then you've got other guys like Rousey who does speak his piece when he needs to, but he leads by example. He'll train and what he does and how he plays. So there will be boys in there that can step up to the plate, and I'm sure people like Ruben, who is an incredible talent and an unbelievable player, and I really hope he has a fantastic year this year, because he needs to. It's time to. Like we've all been speaking about Ruben for a couple of years about how great of a talent he is, but he needs to put it all together.
You spoke highly of him, haven't you?
For a long time, yeah. When he broke onto the scene, when I think Mick was manager during COVID, and his abilities unmatched. He's got everything as a player. He could go on and play Premier League football, no problem. His brother as well. His brother's an incredible player. So it's just about developing as a person, and that takes time sometimes. You got to come out your shell. You can't be frightened to speak when you need to speak and demand from other people. It's one of those things. It almost comes with age. You get a little bit of confidence. The more you play, the better you're playing. You can then come out your shell. When I was a young player at Reading and I started playing football, and I had all these senior bodies around me, I felt like I couldn't project myself to be a leader.
Give it yourself.
But it comes a point when you're on the pitch and they're looking over at you, and they're the 30-year-olds, 35-year-olds demanding that from you. So those younger boys will come out of their shell, and I'm sure the manager, he's, like I've said before, he's nurtured young players into becoming some of the best players in the country. So I'm sure he will get the best out of them, not only as players, but as people as well.
Yeah, and I think the Ruben Colwill interview in the pre-season,
spoke volumes, didn't it?
It was really positive to see, wasn't it?
It did. It's not just what we've seen on the pitch, because we were sort of, it is sort of, our hopes had come alive from where we spoke about the first episode of this new season with the three of us. We were sort of hoping and clamouring for that, that something would be unlocked, and to see that then on the Spain trip just seemed to be more and more and more and more, and then that interview then on top, it just seems like it might be, I don't know if it's wishful thinking, but it does seem like a bit of a perfect storm, with the negatives obviously of being relegated, but obviously having that lack of leadership there, but with this manager, it just seems like maybe it genuinely is the time for Ruben to really step up and be who we wanted him to be in a City shirt before potentially he moves on to where he's got the potential to play, So I think it could end up being a perfect storm here. But like we said about that interview, it spoke volumes. We were just like, couldn't believe this had come from what we'd seen previously. It just seems like he's matured so much, and he is just developing his understanding of what's expected of him, I think, from the outside looking in anyway. It's really, really impressive.
I think his biggest struggle is since he proper broke on the scene. Like, I was in the away end at the Nottingham Forest game where he scored the 2 goals to win the game, and you're watching him that day and you just think, we've got a superstar. He's gonna carry us back to the Premier League or whatever. But I think the biggest struggle for him in his career so far is the fact that, since he broke into the team 4 years ago, he's had about 4 or 5 different managers to work under. There's no consistency. And like we said earlier, they weren't necessarily managers that are going to work on developing young talent either, whereas with someone like BBM, that's his main focus, his main drive is getting the best out of young players. And I think we're at a point as a football club as well, where if you can develop someone like Colwill to be a sellable asset to someone higher up the pyramid, I know you don't want to see talents like that leave the club. But we're at a position where if you can get big money in to invest to bring more talent like that through the door, where it just becomes like a rolling thing, then that can only be a positive, I think.
Yeah.
Well, we really wanted him to just take games by the scruff of the neck and not just give us moments. And that what we've seen so far, and it's only pre-season and it's only a short space of time, but that has rung true so far. So I mean, it can only be a positive leading into Saturday.
Yeah, definitely.
You know.
Well, leading into Saturday, Peterborough home, big game, very excited.
Yeah.
What's your expectations, lads? Maybe you first, Sean.
It's a difficult start. Look, you're at home, which is positive. It should be bouncing in there on the weekend, and it should be an exciting place. Those boys should be so excited to walk out their first game of the season.
Yeah.
It was always one of my favourite days because you put in all that work pre-season, you've had the summer, you're back together, and then you walk out in front of a packed stadium to start a new exciting season. Everyone's on a level playing field. You're all on 0 points, and it's like, right, where are we gonna?
Yeah.
It's a bit of that. You throw out that marker to the rest of the league to see where you're at, and everyone's a little bit. That first 4 or 5 games, you're still building into your best. Really, I never started the beginning of the season feeling 100% fit. I was always kind of like there or thereabouts, but you start finding your feet. So those boys are going to be excited going in, but it's a tough game. Peterborough, one of those teams in that league that I know last year they had they struggled a little bit in the season, but they've always been a decent footballing team with a way of playing. They've always been a super attacking team that want to score goals. I've played at Peterborough against Peterborough for years, and it always seems to be a high-scoring game whenever. It's one of those, and they've got some good players, but like I said, it sets out the marker for the rest of the league. Those boys are going to be excited to get out there and show what this new squad looks like and how they're going to go about the start of the season. And hopefully the fans walk away on Saturday thinking we're going to have a good year this year. This looks exciting. And there's going to be ups and downs. League One's a tough league. It's a tough league. There's no international breaks. You've got the extra cup in there. We spoke about the squad depth, which I'm sure we'll add to and have a bigger squad and lean on the younger players, which I know Gavin Chesterfield and the boys in the academy are working hard to get them boys up to scratch and stuff. So, I'm excited. A little bit nervous as well because I obviously want the boys to go out there and start the season well. But everything doesn't rest on just Saturday. It'll be nice to see where they're at, and it's going to be a big performance, I guess.
Yeah, and we've spoken before, and we have as well, lads, about how, for most of these clubs in League One, this is their biggest day of the season, really. Cardiff away.
I think that's what's going to make this season a little bit not different, because everyone always used to look forward to coming to Cardiff because it's a big stadium, good fan base, great place to play, pitch is massive, it's always decent nick. So this season, a lot of clubs, this is going to be their cup final. They're coming to a massive club, and we haven't been in League One for 20 odd years. So a lot of clubs are going to be coming here, putting everything they've got into it to try and turn over a club like Cardiff. So that's going to be an extra demand on this squad and these players, because they're going to have to be at it every game this season, because like I said, it's going to be a cup final for every club, and that's going to be the added pressure. And I hope that I'm pretty sure the manager's going to make sure they're ready for that.
Yeah. What do you think, boys?
Yeah, well, it does. We've touched on that previously, haven't we? That it feels like we're sort of there to be shot at, and the rest of the league. Well, we've seen it on other platforms, the other teams' platforms. They're really excited about coming to play against Cardiff. So we just, from my point of view, I'm just really hopeful that we can, impose our will on games and not so much worry about, every team coming to us. We still have our game plan, whether it's plan A, B, C, D, whatever. We got that faith in ourselves that we can go out there and really impose our will on the game and turn teams over and make Cardiff City a fortress really at home. Yeah. And then going away and really developing as a team and cracking on through the league.
I think
I don't want to jinx it, but it feels like the perfect first game you can have when you look at Peterborough, because they've lost all their best players over the summer. Like Pork, who went to QPR, Ricky J. Jones has gone.
It's all firepower,
Cipriano,
really, innit?
like all their best talent from last year. I know they didn't have the best of seasons last year, but they've got, like Peterborough, you look at Peterborough and they're always a club that you expect to be in and around, sort of at least pushing playoffs. But this year I think they will be a bit further down the table, and I think if we can get off to a good start on Saturday, I think it will be a high scoring game. I think it'll go either way, because I think we'll score a lot this year, but we've shown defensive sort of frailties that we can concede a lot as well. So it could be exciting, because you'll have like sort of 4-3, 3-2 games, but I don't know how many of those you want to see throughout the season, because it gets a bit hectic then. But as long as we're on the right side of the result, I suppose that's the main thing, picking up those 3 points.
And, you know, do you think that Saturday, you know, might be pretty packed out then? I know it's the first game of the season. We are in League One. I genuinely feel like a lot of people are excited. Do you think we'll have a good turnout this weekend?
I hope so. I mean, anyone I've spoken to about City, and everyone's just excited to get the disappointment of last year. I think like we spoke about before we started rolling cameras, the excitement of this season with the new manager and how pre-season's gone. You can't look too deep into pre-season, but there's an excitement just to get back to football, and Cardiff having a good year, which is promotion. That's what we're looking at it going, come on, if this could be a fantastic year. Yes, we're in League One, but this could be a really, really great year for the club, because it doesn't matter what league you're in. It doesn't matter. As a player, I used to speak to young boys, and promotion, getting promoted, it doesn't come very often. It's few and far between. So it doesn't matter if you're in League 2, League 1, Championship. They're just as special as any other one you've ever achieved. So if this season Cardiff can have a good year and get over the line and get back into the Championship, it'll be a wonderful year to look back on.
It certainly will. And I think we're very excited, obviously, for the season ahead. But there was something else that we were quite excited for, and which we were hoping. I think it would have just been too good to be true. And speaking to you, Sean, you've had your opinions. It is about the takeover. I will start with you first, Sean, because your opinion has been the same on this every time I've spoken to you. Vincent Tan, was he going to sell? Is he going to sell?
Well, when we spoke about it a couple of weeks ago, I said to you, I don't think he will sell. I know there was a lot of talk about, obviously, there was quite a bit of press around the Bale consortium and stuff like that. And it was exciting, and it was the potential to potentially the club to move in a different direction. But I just felt like in my bones it was never going to happen. I just think, look, I don't know Vincent that well. I've met him a few over the last 12 years. I'd met him probably a handful of times. But I just felt like, from his point of view, if I was to put myself in his shoes, I just didn't feel like it was the right time. What would have been for him to sell?
Felt like the right time for us.
Yeah, but I just, if I was looking at it from his point of view, I just thought that I had a feeling that he wouldn't want to give the club away after all that. As long as he's been at the helm, as long as he's been pumping money in, and we've had success, we've had disappointment. I just knew with the disappointment from last year, that ego, I guess, to not want to sell the club on a down. Yeah, he wants to be. He wants to get the club back in the Championship. I believe
break even sort of thing.
And maybe next. If we were to get promoted this year,
you'll probably want to go for it.
Yeah, this is the thing. Where does it stop?
You'd rather be on an upswing, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
it does make it when you think of it like that, it does make more sense.
Yeah, and I don't think he'd want to walk away with as long as he's had here. And I've spoken about him in different bits and bobs over the years, and look, he does care about the club, and he does have a love for this club. He might show it in different ways over the years, and he doesn't want to look at it. Probably doesn't want to look back on it and think it's a bit of a disappointment where it ended. So for him,
do you think he wants to be chucked up by security one more time?
100%. He wants to get on someone's shoulders again. Okay. God, yeah, those pictures, man. So yeah, I think he would want to. That end of an era would want to
end on a high,
on a positive, which I get.
Makes sense.
but for everyone else involved, like we've been part of this for a long time. Is the club ready for a different direction? Probably, but whether it happens or not, I'm not too sure.
And I think, like, for myself, lads, like, I've been, like, so worried that, like, this excitement news of a Bale consortium and South Africans and whoever else has been chucked into the mix, like, I'm just thinking, yeah, okay, maybe I could be here with one more year at a time, you know, if we, you know, because our squad looks great, our manager looks great at the moment, and it could be a possibility of promotion, but like, are these people who want to buy now going to be there next year? You know, it's that worry, innit? Because one of the biggest arguments, I think, for pro-Tan fans have always been, well, who would we have? Who would we have? Who wants the club? There's no one here. And right now there has been an interest. Will that interest still be there? Are they having a conversation of saying, look, I'll stay one more season, then you can have the club? I don't know.
I think it will always gather interest, though, because it's got the ability to be a massive club, because it's a capital city club. There's not many capital city clubs about that you can get your hands on, and like, I don't care what anyone else says, we are the biggest club in Wales and always
by far, yeah.
So you get your hands on Cardiff, you've got an asset that you can really, if you play it right, you can make a lot of money from it in terms of a business standpoint. But I think looking at it this season, we would want to, I think fans and players maybe just need that sense of freshness, but at the end of the day, there's only one man that can make that decision, and it's not going to be the fans, it's not going to be the players, so hopefully that doesn't affect how the atmosphere is throughout Saturday and the rest of the season.
I think it depends on how the season starts.
Yeah.
If the season starts in a positive light and we start winning games, it almost papers over the cracks, and people will jump. People that may be desperate for the sale will go, do you know what? We started well. The squad looks good. We've got some good players. This season looks like it's going to be a great thing.
Let's not rock the boat. Let's not rock the boat.
Whereas if the season doesn't start well, you start losing games, you start drifting away from that top six.
You'll see more matches.
That conversation starts again, doesn't it? But I think it's like, from a fan's point of view, it was like the first sort of tangible interest that that's been made public. You know, you don't know what's gone on.
Yeah, you don't.
It did seem like this is like, well, someone else is talking about it. It's not just us saying like, well, look how great this club is. Look how, you know, the potential and all that. It was like, you know, you had Bale talking about it on the red carpet, and there's news outlets and things like that. So I think that was the bit of something we hadn't seen before. It was very unusual. But then, I mean, as long as, like you said, as long as results are going well on the pitch, we can really still be positive and really get behind the team. So hopefully that's something that we can really cling on to.
Well, guys, look, we can't really see too far into the future. But if we did have a crystal ball, early predictions for the season, how do you think it looks?
It looks positive. You never quite know until the games start rolling, and smallish squad injuries can play a part. But if we keep the bulk of the team healthy and fit, for me, it's top six, 100%. You got Luton, you got Huddersfield. Huddersfield, I think, are going to look good this year. They made some good signings, some solid signings, and I think that's probably the top three picks for me would be Luton, Huddersfield, and Cardiff for the top two. And I think it'll be a battle between those three for the automatics, to be honest. And one's going to fall by the wayside, which will end up in the playoffs, and then it's a lottery for anyone. So look, like we spoke about during the interview before, I'm really excited and positive about this year. It's got a feel-good factor around it. I really like what the manager's got to say and how he's got the boys playing, and just his whole background and where he's come from. I just think he's going to get the best out of that young group of boys, and we're going to see players who maybe over the last couple of years we've looked at and gone, are they good enough to play at Cardiff? Are they going to really stay here for a period of time? I think we're going to see those boys really flourish this year. So I'm excited and positive. Automatic promotion would be phenomenal, and like I said, I think it's between those three teams. Looking at it before balls kicked, those are the three teams I'd pick to be up there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm gonna go automatic. I am.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be super positive and say we're gonna go automatic. I maybe not first, but I go second place.
Yeah.
Second place promotion.
Yeah.
I sound like the pessimist now.
Here we go.
No, I
heard you said. Yeah, go on. You say it.
No, I think looking at if we went into the season now with our current squad compared to some other teams, I think we'll finish about 5th. I think there's 4 teams in this league that are, I think Luton, Huddersfield, Stockport and Bolton probably are the
But
4.
do you think playoff? Do you think we will?
I think we should definitely be in and amongst top 6 minimum.
But you don't think we'll make? We don't think we'll qualify? You don't think we'll go up this year?
I don't know because I hate the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like I've been to Wembley twice.
Bad memories.
I've watched us in an FA Cup final there. I've watched us in a playoff final.
Yeah.
I still hate Charlie Adam to this day.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
what he done. And
How old
yeah.
did you win? You were about 10.
yeah, I think I was about 10 years old. But
Gosh, I
I
remember.
was going up
Yeah,
there
I know.
guaranteed that we were
Devastated.
watching Premier League football.
Well,
the
we
next
were
year.
the better team. We were,
By
let's
far.
face
I watched it again in lockdown. It was on like Sky Mix or something. The full game was on there.
Yeah.
And I thought, do I really want to put myself through this again? And I did.
Well,
and
he
I
went
was
and
like,
signed for Liverpool, didn't he?
But
for
when
a bit
you
as
see the
well,
squad, you see the lineups, you think, Christ, how did we lose this game? Like the lineup we had, you know.
There's nothing more exciting than playoff football, but when
Yeah,
you're,
when you're
I couldn't
involved in
even
it.
imagine
And
what
they're
it'd be
the
like
ones,
as a
and they're
player.
the ones as
Proper
well that we've
nerve-wracking.
actually made to Wembley. How many have we fell by the wayside during the semis?
We had one
No,
win,
Reading.
one win, didn't we? One win was the Ledley volley against Barnsley, but then
Well,
the rest
play-
of them then.
playoffs
How
we
many
lost.
Oh, sorry,
playoffs have we
playoffs
not
we've lost
made
and not gone to the Wembley.
to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Wembley?
yeah.
We've probably
Sorry,
been
I
in
thought
the
you
mix
meant losses
more
in
times than
Wembley.
you think.
Yeah, no, we have been right up there, haven't we? In
Sean,
so
you've
many
been
seasons.
in a few, haven't you?
Yeah, well, had a couple at Swindon when I was there as a young lad. Lost to Millwall in the final, which wasn't great.
Was that the penalties?
No, that was Huddersfield.
That was
So that was
Huddersfield.
Huddersfield League One player final against Sheffield United. We won that.
Yeah.
So that was 22 penalties were taken. It was mad. It went all
Wow.
down to the goalkeepers. Alex
Oh, man.
Smithies scored the last penalty, and then Sorensen hit his over the bar, and we won that day. And it is the best way to win
Yeah,
at Wembley.
so I can't imagine that.
I would love a
It's-
Wembley trip this year.
It's
But
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Right? There's
Wild.
not a better way to win. Like, obviously, you want to win. You want to get promoted automatic. Like, finish first or second. Season's
Don't
done.
Yeah, yeah.
Put your
You know what
feet
we're
up and
doing.
watch them do their thing. Like,
But those playoffs, obviously, the semi-finals, you've got 2 legs, anything can happen.
Yeah.
And then you've got the big day, which, it's the best way to win, but fucking the worst place to lose.
Oh God,
Jesus.
yeah.
When we lost, when we lost there with Swindon, I was only in the squad, so I was on the bench. But that day, and then at Reading we lost to Swansea again on the bench. But it's a tough place to lose. It is a really tough place to lose because you put in all that effort and work for 48, 49
you was in the one
games.
for the Swansea one, was you?
Yeah, so I'd signed for Reading.
Wow.
I'd signed for Reading that January.
What's that? 20.
That would have been the year that
2011.
2011?
Reading,
Rogers,
Reading,
yeah.
Reading beat Cardiff in the semi-final.
That's
That was the one, yeah.
Joby
right.
McAnuff ripped off his top and had
Joby,
that
yeah.
baggy vest on. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
loved him doing the
Was that
city as
Shane
well.
Long as well? No.
Yeah, Longy was
Yeah,
there.
Shane
Longy
Long.
scored.
He bagged us in the.
Yeah,
But that was
Yeah.
a great
Good player.
that was a great Cardiff squad as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was the first time I'd been to the Cardiff City Stadium, to be fair, and I remember sat there and I was like, wow, this is a proper club. This
Yeah.
is a hell of a club. But Reading obviously got the better of Cardiff that night and then got battered by Swansea in the final. 4-2, I think it was. I think Sinclair scored a hat-trick.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a terrible place to lose. You go back into the change rooms and defeat, but if you're on the other side of that, wow, you got 40,000 of your own fans.
Yeah, it's mixed views.
Massive
and it
party.
depends on the
Yeah, of
results.
course, it's always depending on the results, but
And I didn't ask you for your.
Oh, it's all good,
prediction.
mate. Yeah, it's all good. I to be honest with you, mate, I'm in the like as positive as possible. To be honest with you, as high up as possible. But you're looking at Championship, League One, and League Two. I always feel like when there is that three like front runners,
It's tough, innit?
the third one that drops in, like we've seen it with Leeds a couple of years ago, they like once it gets to that playoff thing, they sort of implode then because they're so disappointed in not having that top two. So if we're steady and we're in that top six throughout the season and proving our worth really and showing how good a squad we actually are, how good a team we actually are, then I'll be really positive about it anyway. But top 2 would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Top 2 would be fantastic. Obviously, with my heart, I would love that. So, yeah, I'm saying as high up as possible. But yeah, 1 or 2, position 1 or 2 would be lovely.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
I don't want 3rd because I think, like Ben said, playoffs, it is really tough. But to be that disappointed 3rd place, I think is a lot harder than sneaking in at 6th. Like when we beat QPR to go up initially to the Championship when it was called Division 1, 02-03. QPR with our 3rd place finish and we were 6th.
Yeah.
Even though we'd been good throughout the season, we sort of felt like we sort of sneaked in there. We felt like we were playing at home because it was in the Millennium Stadium and we had like Ernie and Cav and co. It felt like a bit of a smash and grab, 1-0 volley from Andy Campbell.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of that, being QPR, because they were a very strong squad at the time. So yeah, I don't want to be that one.
And maybe talking about automatic promotion,
Yeah.
you've done that as well. You've
Oh, yeah.
in style. What does a team need? What's it take to do that?
It's consistency. It's being able to get the squad, majority of the squad, to be 7 out of 10 every week. That's just what it is. If you can just roll from game to game and perform at your base level, is that 7 out of 10, and then you got a few players in there. The year we got promoted with Cardiff into the Premier League, our back 4 was 7 out of 10 every week. Goalkeeper was 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10 every week. Gunner was 7 out of 10 every week. And then you had Mendes, Junior, Ken. All we needed was one of those to be
Just jump up a bit more.
on it that day.
Yeah.
And we'd win games, and we got a little bit of luck here and there, and you do need a little bit of luck over the season with late goals and bits and bobs. But if you can just have that consistency, because it's a long year, 46 games, and that's the basis of it. You just need to, once you start winning games, that snowball effect starts rolling, and you start just, that confidence breeds confidence, and the whole place. I remember that year, the training ground was just 90% of the time was just booming, positive. Boys used to come to work and you'd be excited to get out on the training pitch. And on the flip side, when things aren't going well, the training ground's a miserable place to be. People don't want to work. They don't want to train as hard as they can. But when things are going well, it just all accumulates into this positive factor. And then it shows on the pitch, and the fans are excited. And there's just this whole, that year we got promoted with Warnock, there was a feel-good factor the whole year. And there was periods, there was a little slump around Christmas, but even after that, we went on January, February, went on a really good run.
Yeah.
For me, it's just consistency. If you can keep the bulk of the squad fit and have players that are going to perform at a consistent level every Saturday, every Tuesday, give yourselves an opportunity. And that's what it's about, giving yourselves an opportunity, because the likelihood of someone just running away with the title is never going to happen. Not in League One. So,
yeah. It's a bit of an arm. It seems like it's a bit more of an arm wrestle. Whereas, like, you got the Championship, it seems like there is a Premiership team in the Championship, like in disguise every year. Where I felt like, well, we were that year really. But did you find, like, that season in particular? Did you find you were getting more confidence off the rest of the like the boys who were like jumping up a level, or was the gaffer giving you a lot of confidence? Because like you in particular, you scored loads of goals that season, so you had a problem in both boxes for every team really. The strikers were having no joy off you, and then you were up the other end and scored. You scored.
Yeah,
I don't know how many you scored. You scored a good few goals.
I think it was
that year.
7 that year. It's the most I've scored. 7 2 seasons. I think my first season I was here, and then the promotion season. To be fair, I think Ken was our highest goal scorer that year with maybe 12 or 13.
There's goals all over the pitch, wasn't it?
And there was Gunnar had chipped in with a few, Ralsey had chipped in with a load, Mendes. I think the first game was Burton away, and we scored in the 90th minute. Ken come inside and whip one in the bottom corner, and it just felt from that moment like, right, we got the first win under our belt, and then we had some tough games. In that first month, we had Wolves away, Villa at home, and we just can't. In that Villa at home game, we battered Villa at home, and Mendes was on fire. And that was, once we knew, right, Junior, Mendes, if those two are on it, like, as long as we are solid at the back and keep clean sheets, those boys are going to go and win us games.
Give them a platform to play off.
And that's what it was. And it stemmed from the gaffer, it stemmed from the coaching staff to give the confidence, like players, like Junior, like Mendes and Ken, because no one had been able to get a tune out of Ken.
No.
Apart from Warnock, really. He probably caught lightning in a bottle for about 6 months.
Yeah.
Ken was unplayable, and when he wanted to be quick, powerful, big, strong boy who had a great left foot, and the gaffer got the best out of him for a period of time, and it just, all the cogs were just turning and everything connected, and Mendes was at times of that season, Mendy was unplayable. And that's just all it was. It was, and we demanded it as a group. We had leaders, like lads who were natural leaders. You had myself, you had Sol, you had Mendes, you had Gunnar, Pilkey, Peltz. Bruno was a leader in his own way. We had quality, but we had people that demanded from each other, and the manager didn't really have to step in all that often, to be honest, because we used to solve things on our own, and that was the power of the gaffer and the confidence he gave us as players to be able to manage ourselves. Wow. I used to have arguments with Sol after games. I remember we beat Norwich. It was near the end of the season. We beat Norwich. It was an important game, actually. Junior and Ken scored quite late on, and we ended up winning 2-0 or 2. I think it was 2-0. But it was an important game. It was around April time. And me and Sol were almost having a fight after the game because we were arguing about. I can't even remember what we were arguing about, but he was probably trying to dribble out in the last 10 minutes something, and we had a Barney about it. But this is that's
the standard.
That was the standards we set, and the boys. I think the boys used to look on those kind of bits with Peltz as well. Used to be arguing in the change rooms at half time and the games after we've won games or winning games, and it was like boys must have been looking at it thinking, we're winning 2-0.
What else do you want?
But it was because we
it was,
demanded.
it was infectious as well.
The manager demanded so much from us, but we demanded so much from each other as players and as a squad. And even the boys who were on the periphery of the squad, who were bit part players, or even players who were the 18th, 19th man, we were all in it together. There was
driving standards, and you had that. You said you had the togetherness. You had Warnock speaking about that season. He said you just had that togetherness. It was just,
and it breeds success because you see it working week in, week out, and you're winning games, and boys are training well, and everyone was like ready to play or ready to be part of that because they knew. I didn't want to miss out on this. This is special. This season's going to be special, regardless if I've only played 5 games or I played 45 games. We're gonna, as a squad, when you get promoted with a team, you're linked forever. I still speak to a load of the boys I was with at Huddersfield in 2012, who we got promoted with. Like when you have those successful squads, you are linked for the rest of your lives because it's such a special moment in your career.
It's like a Super Bowl winning team, isn't it?
You
got that ring.
You're linked.
Definitely,
You build bonds over that year that is impenetrable.
Hopefully that's what you see from this group of players.
Well,
especially because they're all
so different,
like similar ages as well. I suppose it's easier then still to create that bond. I suppose a lot of them would have come through academy together, so know each other well. So hopefully, like you said, being part of a group of players that have achieved something that not many have at the football club. Hopefully that's the driving factor behind them wanting to do well this year.
I think that would be a positive as well. The fact that there isn't many older players and they're boys that all know each other, they may feel more confident to demand from each other, to demand what they want as a squad, as players, and it might bring them out of their shell even more because they're not looking at the Joe Rolleses or the Callum O'Dowders or the people that aren't there anymore to almost speak for them. They're going to have to do it themselves.
They've got to take the ball.
But it's like youth level, isn't it? Under 16s, and you're all the same age. And
it is a bit like that.
You know,
isn't it?
you have no one really looking up. Interesting, very
It's
interesting.
exciting.
It is exciting,
It's an
indeed.
exciting time. For sure.
Sean, you was linked, I heard, credible sources maybe about being involved in the academy.
We used to, well, I don't know if you saw the story, but Gavin Chesterfield saw it because he rang me. He said his phone's been going off the hook this weekend, so I had to apologise to him and promise him a coffee. But no, I'm not back working with the academy. There are plans to potentially in the future. I've got my badges, and I would love to go back in there and.
Ooh, badges.
Yeah. So I'd love to go back in and. I think my heart would be with the younger setups. I don't think I'd want to delve into older age groups, especially not at the minute. So, yeah, I've got a good line of communication with Gav and the academy and people at the club. So at some point, I would love to go back in and give back a little bit and get involved with that. And because I know how important coaches were in my young career before I even had a career, when I was just playing local football. I know how much the grassroots coaches and the coaches I had at 16, 18 level, how important they were to me and developed me as a person.
Well,
and a
you,
player, so.
yeah, your story is one of inspiration. You wasn't a destined player and you didn't start off young, did you?
No,
You know, and
no, I didn't go into a schoolboy setup until I was in year 11 at school, so under 16, and it kind of just skyrocketed, and I had really good people around me and coaches, Stuart Gibson, who went on to coach in Sweden and stuff, and the names just continue, and the people that I had around me, that mostly, which I look back on, developed me as a person more than a player. They helped me develop as a player, obviously, but what they got out of me as a person and my development as an actual human being is what I know I'd like to go back and help young players do, because I know that kind of gets left by the wayside.
We've had this conversation, haven't we, about like everything from finance to what you do after football, and you know, I think you are a real inspiration in terms of a professional footballer and how you carry yourself. And you know, we've had conversations away from this, and I think that you'd be great at doing that, like, you know, especially to instill in the youngsters, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
But we have said, haven't we? We said, why haven't they? I know it's quite interesting. You said you've got no interest in like the senior level right now, but have you ever thought about that? Like, is that something that it's definitely
about management and stuff?
Well,
like
not
that?
just I don't know, just being. We've all thought that you would be an asset involved in this squad right now in some capacity. I don't know how. Is that something that you've never ever? It's never crossed your mind.
There was a period last year where we were potentially looking at as an overage player going in and still playing, but obviously with the 23s, mentoring, playing, being around them, and almost being like a focal point of like I've been there, I've had my career, but I can help these young players. Almost that stepping stone, but this is what you need to do to get into the first team. This is what you need to do to stay in the first team. And we had lots of conversations about it, but the timing was just never right with how the season kind of was going, and managers were changing. It was just never. It wouldn't have looked right, and the opportunity kind of disappeared. And then when that disappeared, I went back to enjoying my family life and doing what I've been doing, and potentially in the future there might be something there, but at the minute I think my heart is with helping young players, whether that be mentoring them away from football or coaching them on the training pitch and helping them. I know how much pressure there are on young players and all the things that come even just away from the football, what come with it, finances and learning how to deal with contracts and how to plan for the future. I understand what you've got to go through to try and get the best out of that. So that's where my heart is, probably helping young players. I don't know in what capacity, but something like that.
Yeah.
I suppose it'd be really good for the club as well. I don't think we have many involved in the club. I think we were speaking about it the other week. There's not many people involved in the club for like younger people coming through to like let them fully understand how much it means to play for this football club and for the local community as well. Like, it's one thing the team down west I think do quite well is a lot of people involved. They do instill, like, when you're playing for Swansea, this is how much it means, and especially when it comes to like Swansea Cardiff, it gets drilled in. That's one of the first things they say when they bring new players through the door or new staff. That's what you like. That's one of the main things you look out for, and I feel like that's maybe slightly been missed with us a bit. I think that comes from the top because we've got a board and management that are not, like you said, like you've seen Vincent Tan a handful of times in the whole time you've been here. So yeah, it is that slight disconnect, which I think football clubs in particular really need with a fan base. So
I think the club last year was the 125-year anniversary, obviously, and there was the club had put on lots of stuff over the season where I'd been part of a few of them, and they were phenomenal. We had the dinner around Christmas time, and there was ex-players. Joe Ledley was there, Ginge was there. There was loads of boys there. Ernie was there, and we sat there in that room that night. And fair to Joe, Leds got up and he spoke about it. And he just said, like, why aren't we doing more to celebrate? We had the team. There was all the old boys who had played against Real Madrid in the 70s. Beat Real Madrid, and why aren't there pictures? Why aren't we celebrating the history of the club more? And I think the club are trying to do that. They're a little bit behind, but they need to, because the history of your club is everything. Everything from when the club started all the way through until the successes, the disappointments. We have to celebrate that, and we have to celebrate the people that play for this club, because it's an honour to play for Cardiff City. And I genuinely believe that everyone that's played at Cardiff understands the responsibility of playing for a club like Cardiff.
Yeah.
And, can they do more? Yes. Are they trying to do more? I believe so. I believe they are. So hopefully over the next few years you start to see more ex-players get involved with the club and have a bigger role, because like you said, I know people that work down at Swansea and been working for a long time and
still working from now and then.
And celebrate your ex-players, because they're an important part of the club's history, and whether that be you've played 100 games, 500 games, it doesn't matter. Once you put on the shirt, you're a Cardiff City player, and I hope that over the next few years they do better with that.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is as well, like, it would be amazing, like from my point of view, like I think from a fan's point of view, to see you involved in it. You've become, you know, part of the DNA, part of the modern fabric of the club in recent years, for sure. I think so, for sure. But the fact that you want to do that, you know, you want to put yourself forward, and you've made Cardiff your home, you know, to start your family is fantastic, really. So I think that would be amazing for us as a club.
I think if some of those players took just a quarter or 30% of your passion into it, I think we'd have a great season and a great team. Yeah. It's been great having you, Sean. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Ruben.
Lads, thank you again. We'll be down there. We'll be down the stand Saturday. Yes, we will be at the statue before and after the game. So please come and give us a shout. Come and have a chat with us. Really excited, Sean. Hopefully have you down again soon.
100%.
I know we haven't even told them, have we? Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah. So we're going to be doing a live event with Sean, an evening with Sean. We've basically said we're going to do it the eve of the Plymouth game, which is I don't even know the date. That's great, isn't it? We'll have to do a proper video for this, Ryan, and do a real announcement.
A proper announcement of it, yeah.
Plymouth, wait there. It's in August. It's the end of August.
It's the week I'm away, so I'm devastated. I'm devastated.
It's the
30th, yeah. So the 29th of Friday.
So the 30th. So it'll be the 29th of August in the Canton Libs, the eve before the Plymouth game, which is obviously Sean's hometown club.
Yes.
You know, they've been relegated with us as well, so I think it is a big game.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a sit down evening with Sean, live event, Q&A, everything. So I know it's only a couple of weeks away, but we will announce everything properly and the logistics and tickets very, very soon. But just, guys, thank you. Really excited for Saturday. Again, Sean, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Mars, been lovely. Ben, what do we say to him? We'll see you at the stand.